There really are only a handful of films that have completely transported me into what I would call this waking dream. Films like David Lynch's Mulholland Drive or Blue Velvet, which in those cases were kind of more of nightmares, or Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. With these films, there is something about them that is truly undefinable, something far greater than the sum of all of its individual creative parts and decisions. And because of that, they've been able to so thoroughly draw me into this fog of an experience with an overwhelming tone and atmosphere that just seeps into my eyes, into my ears, and into my soul. And Ad Astra is definitely now one of those films. And if you can just give yourself over to it, allowing writer-director James Gray's vision to just swallow you whole, this film will do so much more than just tell you about its ideas and themes or even show you far-off planets and distant, gorgeous vistas. It will breathe them into the very core of your existence. And I guess I should say right now, I am very sorry if what I'm saying sounds utterly pretentious or just like plain psychobabble, and especially I apologize if it's in any way scaring you off from watching this film, because that is in no way my intention. This film was profoundly beautiful for me, and I just want as many of you to enjoy it as possible, especially considering just how rare original sci-fi concepts really are. With that said, to more holistically set your expectations, I should say if the thought of watching or rewatching a slower film, a film like Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey, just sounds torturous, well, it is likely that you'll just not care about or completely disregard a lot of the poetry and beauty found in something like Ad Astra as well. Not only did the guy sitting next to me fall asleep halfway through the film, he and his girlfriend straight up walked out of the film 20 minutes before it even ended. But with that said, there I was sitting next to them, completely enthralled with what I was watching, oftentimes tears filling my eyes, completely enraptured by this truly evocative journey into outer space and into the very soul of Roy McBride, the film's lead character. Like I already mentioned, it's actually quite difficult to pinpoint what actually makes a film like this so incredibly emotionally impactful for me. But I think one of the things that does it is the fact that the filmmakers so often refuse to explain a lot in the film. There was so much in Ad Astra that was intentionally left inexplicable. Characters, backstory, technology, these elements that were just left a mystery, but still presented in these ways that were incredibly evocative and made emotional sense and got me, the audience, to actually connect with them in this very personal way. Another specific element that helped to produce that dreamlike quality in this film was actually its rather simplistic styling. Writing, directing, and acting choices that just never once unnecessarily detracted from the overall story. Don't get me wrong, writer-director James Gray absolutely had beautiful color schemes, amazing shot compositions, and just gorgeous vistas that he lavished upon us time and again, but never once did those shots or those moments kind of stand out and in a distracting way declare, hey, look at me, look how cool and inventive I am. Rather, they just simply were, so often unassumingly establishing the world and characters. And speaking of characters, another needle that this film so expertly threaded were its performances, especially from Mr. Brad Pitt. Now, I've heard a lot of people actually compare his very subdued, reserved style in this film to Ryan Gosling. And while I do think that Ryan Gosling did an excellent job in films like First Man or Blade Runner 2049, what Mr. Brad Pitt did in this film, for me anyways, far exceeded both of those. So, just like Mr. Gosling in both of those aforementioned films, Mr. Pitt, especially starting out, did feel rather neutral and blank in his performance, which initially did allow us, the viewer, to lay on him a lot of our own thoughts and feelings. But it wasn't just that. It wasn't just him blankly staring around the world, his thoughts and desires completely imperceivable to me, the viewer. No, quite to the contrary, every little turn of the head, every blink, every slight variation in vocal tonality told me something about that character, who he was and how he saw the world around him. And through that, I was presented with such a rich, nuanced, three-dimensional character. One who was both ever composed, mature, and reserved, as well as full of childlike wonder, hope, and expressiveness. And it really was those ideas and themes and those longings that just permeated this entire film. And that really is why I love this film so very much. It was so curious and inquisitive and filled with the deepest desires of the human soul. Longings to understand who we are, what our place is in the universe, and really why we're here at all. And every one of its shots, scenes, and acts just built out those concepts in this very personal and yet very universal way. And for all of these reasons, I'll give this film a 5 out of 5 and a heart. I would still love to know what you guys thought of the film though, so definitely comment below and let me know. And also, what is one of your favorite original sci-fi concepts? For me, I really loved Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity, but Ad Astra is now definitely up there as well. Finally, please do subscribe. I'm going to continue to review films and television on this channel, and I would love for you to stay up to date on all of those things. But for now, I'm Chris Hartwell. This is The Heartbeat. Thank you for joining me.